All right, so now that JJK season 3 is apparently this is just the whole season, and then the next part of the Culling game is going to be season 4 based on what people are saying. If we were to talk about season 3 just by itself, this first half of the Culling games, I would say it was a lot of hype, a lot of aura, a lot of great animation, not a lot of emotional depth carried throughout the arc. Like, if you compare this to Shibuya, even the first half of Shibuya, there was a lot of emotion in every part of it. Gojo getting sealed by someone who took over the body of his previous best friend that was covered in the previous arc. Toji's return, and then his realization that Megumi did get adopted in the completion of his character arc. Like, there was actually a lot of emotion in it for those two. Tons of emotion in it for Yuji fighting Mahito, all the losses he suffered. Versus this season, there were some fights that should have been more emotional than they really were. Like Maki, her whole sister dying, that was obviously emotional. But then after that, the actual battle with her clan was not really, it was like upbeat music, like, oh yeah, I'm killing all the people I trained with my whole life and my family, woo woo. And yes, they were abusive and toxic. And a lot of people were saying, well, why would she feel anything about killing? Like, I actually had people commenting saying, why would she feel anything about killing her abusive and toxic family? And to be honest, like, I don't, like, there's still people who you knew your entire life and lived with. Even if you hated them, there would still be more raw emotion in doing what she did than was portrayed. It was very undercut by the way it was filmed and produced and edited, and the music choices in that fight, even though it was like cool to watch. Megumi this time around wants to save his sister. I feel like I've barely seen anything of his sister, so it's hard for me to connect, but, you know, obviously this is the first half of the arc, so we'll see if there's, you know, more emotional connection to be given there. Yuta Sendai Colony was like a very cool fight, but, and I'm not saying every single fight has to be emotional, I'm just saying there weren't really any fights that were like deeply emotional. Like, I feel like it was a lot of fighting for the sake of fighting, but the underlying character and emotional depth was sometimes lacking. And to be clear, it wasn't just fighting. Like, they would have like cool character moments or philosophies, like Uro talking about like finishing his dessert and everything, or this whole symbolism behind like the receipt guy's powers and him just like using whatever he can to get ahead. Like, it's not completely shallow, but I just feel like an element that was in past seasons was missing, and people are so just addicted to like escapism, hype, power fantasy, aura, etc., that they don't even want to think about that. And once again, to be clear, I'm not saying there was no emotion at all. You know, the lawyer guy, Iguruma, there was emotion in his story. I'm just saying it was like lesser than other stories at this point, and that you would have expected from based on previous seasons.